Hey everyone, it's Michael and welcome back to Boxmining. So I'm wrapping up here after Ethereum DevOn. It was really hectic and I have some really cool footage to show you guys. But today I really want to update you guys on the news front. There's a lot happening over the past week and I want to do a mini summary. So I'm starting off with the Bitcoin Cash fork. That's gonna be quite hilarious. It's coming on November 15th. I'm gonna talk a little bit about why that's happening and what to expect and what to look out for as well, because there's going to be plenty of scams in that front. We also have regulation front, the SEC. There was a lot of confusion. People thought the ETF decision was yesterday, but it's not. We also have other regulation coming from Hong Kong, Taiwan, which we're going to discuss in today's episode. And finally, we're going to take a look at some recent developments as well. There's a lot of very strong achievements here in the cryptocurrency front, and I really want to showcase that because that's kind of encourage people to build and seeing things get built. That is the most amazing part of this BUIDL market. So of course, everything covered here is my personal opinion, not financial advice. Starting off with markets, we had a lot of stability over the past week or so. And Bitcoin, Ethereum, even Ripple and all the big caps, they stayed around the same. But we're seeing slight movements right now. Ripple is up 4 or 5%. We got Bitcoin Cash shooting up last week. So we see these minor tweaks along the way. But overall, the market cap is still around $214 billion. This is actually quite a strong trademark of the bear market. We've seen long periods of stability after declines in cryptocurrencies over the past few bear markets for Bitcoin. And this is something that we should kind of cherish because at this time, we can see the projects who are really developing, they can focus on developing and present the results. So let's start off with the Bitcoin Cash fork. So Bitcoin Cash might potentially become two coins on November the 15th. So if you hold Bitcoin Cash, you actually might get both of them coins if this fork happens. So this is automatic. So if you're holding Bitcoin Cash in your wallet, you automatically get both. And if you hold it on exchange, exchanges like Binance already support it. So just go check out on which exchange you're using and see if they support the upcoming fork. So what exactly is happening here? Why are there two coins? It's because in cryptocurrencies, a cryptocurrency relies on the whole network agreeing on a set of rules called the consensus protocol. And if people don't agree on these rules, then, well, they're free to fork it, create their own variant and carry on. Well, people who already have it, they can have another version of your coin too. So it's very much a community split, a split between ideologies. And this is why naming the subsequent coins that arise from the split is very political because everyone wants to fight for the best name, which is in this case is Bitcoin Cash. So why is there a disagreement in the community? Well, it seems to be the case that there are two camps. One led by Jihan Wu, Roger Ver, and they want to just update Bitcoin Cash a little bit about a hard fork. But at the same time, fake Toshi Nakamoto, he wants to change it to be more like the Bitcoin white paper. So that's why it's called Satoshi's vision. So politics aside, what's going to happen is that you get to vote. If you have Bitcoin Cash, you get to vote on which coin has value. You can immediately choose to dump one of the coins if you think it's gonna, well, tank completely, or you get to, well, keep or hodl onto both, or dump both and join Bitcoin. So it's really your choice to vote as to the ideology going forward. And one thing I do want to note is that last year around this time, we saw a lot of scammers saying, oh, claim your Bitcoin Cash here, and it goes on a different website and you have to enter a private key. Do not ever do that. If you have to enter a private key to any random website, that's a scam. If you hold it on Ledger, the kind of instructions to do so will come out over time. It just takes a little bit of time, or you can go to an exchange that supports this. Next up, more importantly, we have regulation. Yesterday, a lot of people were excited that potentially the SEC is going to announce the ETF. It seems like we've been waiting on this forever, and the bad news is that we got to wait on this even more. That's because people got this wrong. It seems to just be originated from Rand Neuner. He posted that the decision might be made on November the 15th, or November the 5th rather, but that's not the case. The November 5th is a deadline for submissions for comments on the ETF. So as a public in the States, you can submit your opinions on it. But the deadline for the Bitcoin ETF has never been announced. That's actually like, well, whenever they feel like it. So a lot of people feel like it's potentially not even this year even, because they're just gonna wait for this market manipulation to really relapse, or for better ways to prevent market manipulation. But on that front, there's a lot of other countries making more regulations too. So we see Hong Kong issuing out digital assets as a class. And for people who issue digital assets like ICOs, that to be regulated, or even funds who hold ICOs and contribute to ICOs, they need to be regulated as if they're securities. The interesting thing here is that this does not directly apply to the exchanges yet. So from what is important is that a lot of exchanges are actually registered in Hong Kong. You have your Binance, your Bittrex, your BitMEX. Here, they don't have a direct response for that yet. So they're seeking kind of opinions on how to regulate these cryptocurrency exchanges. And well, that's going to come at a later date. So that's why a lot of people are looking at these Hong Kong regulations, is because it can potentially affect a lot of the exchanges that are registered in Hong Kong. But right now, the SFC in Hong Kong has not directly applied any restrictions on that yet. We also have Taiwan. There's been moves to be more crypto friendly, but at the same time, they're not friendly to anonymous coins like Monero. So it seems like they want to register your real identity to every coin, and they're strictly banning all anonymous coins because they want to prevent anti-money laundering. This, I think, is actually BS, because having privacy is a right. And also, because cryptocurrencies are so tracked, because every transaction on Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., they can be completely traced back to its original roots. This allows basically it to not be used by businesses who want to keep their amount of transactions private, or their customers and their kind of business trade secrets private, which makes no sense whatsoever. So lastly, we got a lot of developments happening on the crypto front as well. And I just want to recap some of the achievements that were made. And I think in this sense, I'm really happy for these achievements, because regardless of who, if they can push crypto forward, that makes it one step for the whole community as well. So we got Wepower. Wepower is a project that I looked at before. They're tokenizing power. And what they managed to do is they managed to tokenize the whole energy consumption of Estonia. The past records, though, that's the caveat here, the past records of the energy consumption of Estonia onto the Ethereum blockchain. That's how a lot of transactions are, 1 year of transactions for the whole of Estonia onto the blockchain. And what does that mean? Well, this is a very test pilot case to show that it is possible to do this, to tokenize energy in such a way. The reasoning behind this is because we're moving from one centralized producers of energy, like these big nuclear power plants or big coal power plants. They're moving that towards smaller consumers, smaller energy plants like solar energy. That's why you need to have a more tradable system, which everyone agrees on. We also have Wax. So Wax has been reporting a huge number of transactions per second on a blockchain, surpassing almost 4 million transactions per day. So this caught the attention of a lot of people in cryptocurrencies, and they're doing game item trading on the blockchain. And people are wondering, whoa, what the hell is up with 4 million transactions per second? That's because gamers have a lot of items. You can open crates with a lot of digital items inside, and Wax blockchains allows you to trade that in a more decentralized manner. It's based on the EOS blockchain. It's pretty exciting to see the huge number of transactions it can process, but at the same time, this is just the beginning. I really see that gamers really need a decentralized way to exchange items, and more games to support this in the future. And there's actually a huge list of projects that are doing very well, and I will try to talk about them over time and try to follow up with as many as possible. If you guys have any suggestions of which projects to talk about, please leave a comment down below. Like, what are they doing that's really good? And what are they really achieving in this space? And I'll love to take a look and include them in future videos and talk about them with you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to follow on my adventures here in Europe, I just recently passed a Bitcoin center, and I managed to trade some Bitcoins there as well in Vienna here. So it's pretty exciting to see so many Bitcoin locations, and I film my progress and see on what I'm doing on Instagram. So check me out on Instagram, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.